welcome to the Vacillate tutorial. This is currently one of my most frequently performed flourishes. When I pick up a deck of cards, this is like the flourish that I instinctively go for, and I think it's safe to say that it's become one of my favorites, and I hope it becomes one of yours as well. So come along. Alright, so welcome to the Vacillate tutorial. As always, we'll begin with a quick overview of what the flourish looks like. So this is the performance. Alright, so that's the flourish. The mechanics itself are pretty simple, but to really get it to flow very well, you're gonna have to do some practice and refine the movements of this flourish. Now with that being said, let's jump right into the tutorial. Alright, so to do Vacillate, you're gonna need to know a revolution card. So that's a prerequisite. I know some of you know this version of revolution card, where the first packet just pokes through like this. But personally, I prefer the version where you stick your ring finger right underneath the packet and then get it to spin like that, because I think the spin becomes a lot more noticeable and a lot more fluid with that version. So you can go ahead and search up how to do a revolution cut in that manner, but if you really want to, you can stick with even this revolution cut, or even a Charlie cut is fine. Technically you'll see that it works as well, but I think this flourish works best when you can do this revolution cut. So with that being said, let's start off with the mechanics of this flourish. So you're going to start off by just plucking off a relatively small packet in the non-index corners of the card. So from here and here. So this is a pretty small packet. We'll say maybe like 10 or so cards, maybe even less. So what you're going to do is the thumb, you start in straddle grip by the way, over here. You're going to push the card over. So now it's face up. And then this corner of the deck is going to turn the packet once more. So you start off like this. You're just going to do this. And then you're going to flip it underneath your hand. So now it's underneath. And then what you're going to do is, without the cover of this hand, you're going to push your index finger underneath the card. So basically what you've done is you spun the packet twice. Alright? And then what's going to happen is, once the packet goes underneath your hand in this manner, you're also going to simultaneously pluck off one card just like that. Use your thumb just to push it over to the side. It begins relatively in the center of the deck, and you're going to just bring it to the bottom of the deck. And as that happens, you'll notice that this deck rests on these fingers. Alright, so I think that move done simultaneously with the packet twirl just adds a little bit more flair to the flourish. Alright, so that's what the opening sequence looks like. So once more, grip with the non-index corners, go over the thumb, use this corner of the deck to go underneath again, and as you do this motion, you also do this motion. So that's the opening sequence of Vacillate. Let's move on to the next stage. Alright, so now we are done with the opening sequence of Vacillate. Let's move on. Here we are. Notice that the index finger is underneath that top packet, just like that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to apply just some pressure on that packet to make this next motion easier. And this next motion relies on this pivot point, the middle finger of your non-dealer's grip hand. Just put your thumb over it, and I'm going to peel one packet off using that pivot point of your middle finger, and it's going to go flush with the deck. Alright? So if you have a really sticky deck, it might be a little bit hard to peel off just one card, but the motion is this. So now your index finger is going to bring it flush or face up, and this short edge of the packet is flush with the short edge of this packet. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna go back over here, and your thumb is gonna go on top of this packet. And then you're kind of gonna move this packet, just turn it around the crotch of your thumb just a little bit. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna turn the packet once more. Now at this point you're gonna have to make a slight transition. So your thumb is gonna be released from this corner, and it's gonna go up to this edge, the short edge. Alright? So once you peel that packet off, you're gonna come over to the side, you're gonna rotate around the crotch of your thumb, and your thumb is gonna like kind of help bring it up as well. So at this point, you release your thumb. Maybe you can press the packet on top of the deck as well if that helps you out. And it's gonna come to the short edge. I'm gonna push that packet over to your index finger just for a moment. It's a very brief moment, and just like that, you're gonna fluidly transition into scooping that packet out. Okay? So once more, this is the defining moment of this flourish. Just like that. That motion should occur very fluidly. And what I like to do is at that point, I just like to flare out that packet a little bit, just like flare it out like that, right? So if you've done it really fluidly, it should look like that. And notice that the ring finger, I like to have the ring finger at the index corner of the packet. That's if your left hand is the dealer's grip hand, of course. Otherwise, it would be the non-indexed corner. Now what you want to do is, as you flare the packet out, you're gonna do a revolution cut, but you're not gonna complete it. You're gonna leave it like that. Or you can do a Charlie cut as well. I mean, if that's what you like. But I think a revolution cut makes the cut flow a lot more better. Then as you do that revolution cut, you want to bring this packet, you're going to turn your entire hand or your fingers. You're going to curl your fingers in like that. So now the packet is face up instead of, flat out like that. Now notice this gap in between these two packets. You're going to slot this packet inside there. And how you're going to do that is basically the thumb of your non-dealer's grip hand is going to go underneath the packet and just push it over into that slot. Just slot it in right like that. Alright? So once again, this twirl, flare the packet out, and then revolution cut. As you bring this packet face up, your thumb is going to aid in slotting that packet in. Alright, so we just have the closing sequence left. It's pretty simple. Once you've slotted in that packet, what you end up with is basically half of a revolution cut, right? So once you've slotted in that part, you're going to be left with kind of like half of a revolution cut or a Charlie cut, same thing. Now what you want to do is you're just going to roll this packet out into your non-dealer's grip hand. So it happens just by kind of tilting that packet and pushing onto this packet just a little bit, and the packet will slide out just like that. And then what you want to do is, once you've pushed out that packet, and this packet is actually kind of supported with your thumb and index finger still over to the side, you're going to riffle off with your thumb about half the packet, and dropping this packet onto the palm of your hand. This thumb is going to kind of help you roll this packet back over in a reverse motion as before. And you're going to end up with your thumb over here on the long edge of the packet. So it's almost like you're starting a Charlie cut, except you're not using this thumb, you're using the thumb of your non-dealer's grip hand to support it. Now you're going to act as if you're going to do a Charlie cut, and this packet is going to fall over like this. But at the same time you're doing that, this packet just kind of slides across the face of this packet and drops down just like that. Now in that motion, once you're here, this packet is clipped between your index finger and middle finger. So this clipping basically allows you to accomplish that sliding motion. So it just falls over like that. And what I like to do to end the flourish is just use the index finger to just push the rest of the packet together. But if you like, you can also end it with a drop, with dropping the rest of the deck. But I think if you have the packets kind of just rolling over each other like that, it suits the flourish just a little bit more. But you know, whatever floats your boat, experiment with it for your own style. And that concludes the entire mechanics for Vacillate, and I hope you enjoyed it.